Today, I want to answer a question for you. Should you travel to Chiang Mai during the rainy season? The answer is no. Yes, and maybe. Let's take a look at it. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to beautiful Chiang Mai. I'm at Mae Tak Rai National Park. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. But the rainy season did an okie doke on me. For days it had been raining, and so I said today I'm going to grab my umbrella, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to show them how rainy this rainy season is. But the rainy season said, hold my beer and watch this. Look at this. Man, it had been raining for days. And all of a sudden, you want to give me people out here at the park, enjoying themselves, all green, blue skies, but I'm not going to let that stop me. So, I have a love-hate relationship with the rainy season. And the rainy season usually runs between May and October. And during that period, Thailand, Chiang Mai, gets about 85% of its rainfall, its annual rainfall. I think there were a 4-day period here where I think it got its 85%. It rained every day, all day long. If I went to bed at 8:30 at night, wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, it was raining when I went to bed, and it was raining when I woke up. And not only that, the rainy season, I think it probably started in June this year. It came in like a wrecking ball. Now, I didn't mean to quote Taylor Swift, but it was bad when it came in. So in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 pros and 5 cons of why you should, or the rainy season. 5 pros and 5 cons of the rainy season, and I'm going to start with the cons. So my first con of coming to Chiang Mai during the rainy season is you may be limited in the amount of excursions that you can go out to. Many people come here to see the beautiful temples here in Thailand, especially in Chiang Mai. So between the temples and say you want to go to an elephant sanctuary, those things may be very limited to you if, like I mentioned earlier, you're having all these rains that are happening here, raining all day, raining all night, that could happen. The number 2 con, I think, is accidents. Now, I was reading an article that talked about accidents increased by 1.5 times during the rainy season. It could be the slippery roads. It could be people over here that's not used to driving on a certain side of the road, as well as the road being wet. I was at the hospital, Chiang Mai Ram Hospital, the other day, and I was listening to these kids. When I say kids, they're probably in their 20s, but they're kids to me. But one guy had messed up his knee on a motorcycle ride, and they were kind of negotiate the payment from his insurance company back where he was from and what he would have to pay up front. Well, he had a brace on his knee, and I'm not sure what they did to it, but that happens a lot during the rainy season. And you come over here and you're riding, there can be an accident. But an accident is more than just the motorbikes. On August 3rd, which is only a few days ago, there was a tourist family here, and they had done the zip line. And as they was walking back toward their car on a suspension bridge, a tree fell from up above, hit the suspension bridge, and threw them off. Now, the couple, they both sustained substantial injuries. However, the wife also succumbed to her injuries and she passed away. Now, I know that may be an extreme example, but you know, when you get this much rain and this much flooding, those type of things can happen, and they do happen. It was a sad situation. The third con is the humidity. Now, the temperature is tempered down a little bit when you compare it to the hot season or the burning season. But let me tell you something, the humidity is out of control. I'm from Florida, and Florida has some bad humidity. But during the rainy season, the humidity here is up to 90%. Now, if you get a chance to go out and do some things, if you come during a rainy season where there's breaks in the rain, you will probably end up changing clothes about 2 or 3 times. You will be soaked just walking down the street to the store. And so the humidity, if you don't want to put up with that, that's not the best time to come to Chiang Mai. Number 4, during the rainy season, there's an increase in venomous snake bites. There was an article, I want to say it was Battalion Mail, I believe it was, but it talked about last year during the rainy season, some 12,000 victims of snake bites and other poisonous animals, as it read, was at the hospital because of that. Now it's interesting that when I did my research and I found that article, I came out here to this park thinking, I'm going to take you through this park that is like 1,143 square kilometers. And I walked up toward, let me see if I can get you there. I walked up this road here. I'm heading around the corner. And when I get to the area where it pointed me to the waterfalls and things of that nature, there was a sign there. And I'll put that sign up on here. But it talked about beware of venomous snakes, venomous insects, and you can see where it was so overgrown that there's no way I was going to walk in that. But that kind of proves my point that you have to be careful of those kind of things when you come here during the rainy season. So let's go to number 5. So number 5 is going to be dengue fever. Now, that is something that is spread by mosquitoes. And of course, as you can imagine, mosquitoes increase during the rainy season. Now, from what I've read and what I understand is that dengue fever, you may have it and you may be asymptomatic when it comes to that. But my concern is if you have any kind of pre-existing condition, be it high blood pressure, diabetes, or anything else that compromises your immune system, it can be deadly. It can be more than just the rash, the throwing up, the fever. It has actually put people in the hospital because of organ failure. So that's something to consider if you fit into that range and you're thinking about coming over here. So something else to think about. But I don't want this to be all sour. Let's look at 5 pros of coming to Chiang Mai. So the number 1 pro I would say is this. If you look around here, this green does not happen. It does not happen without the rainy season. This is what makes Chiang Mai so beautiful. That's number 1. Number 2, as I mentioned earlier, that you're traveling over here during the rainy season, it can seem like, am I wasting my money? I'll talk about that a little later on. But also during the rainy season, you can save a lot of money on travel. I was in the city recently, and I will tell you there were less tourists than, say, in November, December, which means the hotel prices are going to be cheaper. And also the flights over here could be a lot less. When I was looking at Skyscanner, I found a round trip flight from New York to Bangkok for $640. So that's not bad at all. So number 3 is the rainy season gives you the most beautiful waterfalls. And I really wish that I could have made it up top there where I could have showed you what the waterfalls would look like. But again, I will show you what we have. So earlier, this little stream or creek, whatever you want to call it, but I hope you can hear this because the sound is beautiful. And earlier there were families that were out here and they were playing in it. It's a beautiful sight. So the waterfalls can be something beautiful. They are beautiful during this time of year, but it takes that rain to make it happen. So number 4 is there are so many things you can do inside too if you came over here and it's during the rainy season. One of my favorite is pickleball. So there's a lot of indoor pickleball places where you can play. Lots and lots and lots of cooking classes. So that's something you can do as well. And then they have so many massages if you just want to treat yourself to a nice massage or 2 or 3 or 4. You can let that happen also. So that is number 4. And my number 5 pro of coming to Chiang Mai during the rainy season is this is the ability to help the businesses here. And what I'm talking about is, I know the pandemic may seem like a lifetime away, but there are people who have never recovered. You'll see there are closed businesses that never reopen in Chiang Mai. But to me, it's the mom and pop businesses, you know, that could use your resources to help them stay afloat. And so anytime I get a chance to visit, you know, a locally owned coffee shop or a restaurant, I really try to give them my business because I know they could use it. And it feels good to come over here and not just take away, but also give back to the people here. So those are my 5 reasons that you should come on over to Chiang Mai during the rainy season. Now in the beginning, I gave you answers of no, yes, and maybe. So no is, if you've never been to Chiang Mai, I would hate for you to come during a rainy season where it is so bad where you're stuck inside a lot of the time, so you may not fully appreciate what Chiang Mai is all about. And if you're like me, I know there are some Western countries as well that you may get 6 weeks, a month of vacation, and you can afford to come over here and stay an extended period of time and appreciate that, then that may work for you. But a lot of countries, like in the United States, you get a week, maybe 2 weeks if you're lucky. And I say no because what happens if you fly over here for a week and it's raining that whole week? You know, are you really going to fully enjoy Chiang Mai? Now I also say yes, if you've been to Chiang Mai before, you know how to navigate it, you want to come back and maybe see some of those attractions, slip them in if you can, maybe see friends you made over here, then with the prices down, the cost over here during that period of time, it may be perfect for you. So that's something to think about, and that's why I say yes. But then I say maybe, because if you're an adventurous person and you say, you know what, it is what it is, I'm going to go over there, I'm going to make the best of it, that's your attitude, then this may be for you. So I have mixed feelings. I do, like I said, I have a love-hate relationship with the rainy season, but there's a lot of benefits to it. I just want you to be informed. That's just my opinion, but I do want you to be informed before you come over here. If you come over here during the rainy season, if I was coming to visit, I think November is the sweet spot. Very tempered weather. I think during the daytime it was in the 70s. I don't think we put on our AC at all during that period of time. Probably late October up until January. My electric bill was like $35 US. It was really nice. But I want to thank you for joining me. And before I go, the video I did on Vivo Beni, it took off. I think I had, so far in 2 weeks, I have 35,000 views on that, and it's because of you, and I truly appreciate it. I got some more informative videos coming up as far as a full medical evaluation. How does that work? What's going to be the cost of that? I want to give you things that you can use. So down in the comments, let me know what you feel about the rainy season here, if you live here a long time, if you will still travel here, if you don't live here. And also let me know what I can do for you as far as some of my videos I'm going to continue to put out. So thank you again. I appreciate you. I love you, and I will see you in the next one.